Before diving into this incredible story, remember to subscribe to the channel and turn on notifications. Here, every story has something to say, and you won't want to miss a single one. Jack Carter had always believed he knew the truth about his father. Ever since he was little, his mother, Emily, had endlessly repeated the same story. His father had died in a car accident when he was only 2 years old. His memories of this father he had never known were hazy, almost non-existent. All he had of them were a few faded photographs and half-finished stories. Yet, that evening, everything was about to change. Jack was alone in the attic, a room he usually avoided. The cardboard boxes piled up to the roof creaked under his hands as he searched for old toys or souvenirs. That's when he stumbled upon a worn leather notebook, almost forgotten. His hands trembled as he opened the cover. Inside, a sentence was written in clumsy but powerful letters. If you are reading this, it means you are ready to know the truth. Your father is not dead. Jack's breath caught in his throat. His eyes scanned the sentence, incredulous. His father, alive? How was that possible? Why had his mother never told him anything? Who had written those words? A chill ran down his spine. The attic, once familiar and dusty, suddenly seemed filled with secrets and mysteries. In this notebook, Jack would discover not only the truth about his father, but also a hidden inheritance, forgotten alliances, and dangers he could never have imagined. And deep down, Jack knew that from that moment on, nothing would ever be the same again. His life was about to change drastically, and the search for his father would reveal truths darker and more powerful than he could have ever imagined. Jack Carter hadn't expected to find anything important that night. The attic of his family home in Boston had long been a forbidden place, filled with dusty boxes and forgotten old belongings. But a mixture of boredom and curiosity compelled him to climb the creaking stairs. He ran his hand over a pile of old cardboard boxes. Each box contained mementos of his early childhood, broken toys, faded stuffed animals, yellowed photographs, but no clue about his father. Until he spotted a leather-bound notebook, half hidden behind a stack of old covers. The cover was worn, the leather cracked, as if time itself had tried to erase it. Trembling slightly, Jack opened it. He wasn't expecting anything, and yet, he read these words. If you are reading this, it means you are ready to know the truth. Your father is not dead. Jack's heart was pounding. His eyes scanned the sentence over and over, unable to comprehend it. No, it wasn't possible. His mother had told him his father was dead. All he knew of him was emptiness, an absence. Yet, those words seemed to resonate with a strange power. He searched around for further clues and stumbled upon letters, old photos, and documents carefully hidden in the notebook. Each page seemed to whisper secrets to him, revealing fragments of a life he had never known. But it wasn't just surprise or curiosity that struck him. It was a deeper feeling, a mixture of fear, excitement, and doubt. If his father was truly alive, why had his mother lied? Why had this notebook been hidden here, in the shadows of the attic? Jack felt that his life had just changed forever. That single evening, he had no idea that he had just taken the first step towards a truth that would change everything, his family, his past, and even his future. The next morning, Jack couldn't concentrate. The words in the notebook kept looping in his mind. Your father is not dead. Every moment spent at school, every conversation with his friends seemed empty. He needed answers. At lunchtime, he returned home, determined to explore the notebook further. This time, he noticed details he hadn't seen the day before, addresses, dates, and names that seemed insignificant but which, together, formed a map to something bigger. One of the letters mentioned a nearby town, Hartford, where a certain Samuel Carter, his father, had last been seen. Jack felt his heart race. This was the first time a concrete name had appeared, the first real trace of the person he had always believed to be dead. But there was also a warning. Be careful. Everything you discover could put you in danger. Don't trust anyone. Those words were like an icy blade across his back. Jack knew his quest wouldn't be easy. Yet he couldn't remain still. He had to know. He had to understand the truth about his father. Later that afternoon, Jack decided to begin his online research. He came across old articles about a wealthy entrepreneur named Samuel Carter, who had mysteriously disappeared several years earlier. The photos showed an elegant, smiling man with an imposing presence. Jack noticed something strange. In every single photo, there was a subtle symbol, a key-shaped motif, engraved on a watch or piece of jewelry Samuel had worn. Jack realized that this symbol also appeared in the notebook found in the attic. It was like a sign, a clue his father had left behind, perhaps for him. As night fell, Jack felt a new determination take hold of him. There was no turning back. The mystery of his living father had just become his mission. But he didn't yet know that some of the truths he was about to uncover were darker and more dangerous than he could ever have imagined. The weekend arrived, and Jack knew he couldn't wait any longer. With his backpack packed with clothes, his phone, and the notebook he'd found in the attic, he took the bus to Hartford, determined to follow his father's trail. Every kilometer he traveled brought Jack closer to the truth, but also closer to the unknown. Upon his arrival, the city seemed normal, peaceful, but Jack immediately sensed a tension in the air. The cobblestone streets and old buildings might be hiding more secrets than they let on. He decided to begin his search with the most recent address found in the notebook, a small, unassuming building in the city center. He knocked on the door of the number indicated, but no one answered. While inspecting the mailbox, Jack noticed an envelope with his name on it, written in a handwriting he didn't recognize. Trembling, he opened the letter. "If you want to know the truth, come tonight Tokoff du Port, near the old bridge." Not a word to anyone. Jack felt a mixture of fear and excitement. Was it a trap? Or a message from his father himself? He knew he had no choice. Curiosity and the urgent need to know the truth outweighed caution. Evening fell quickly. Jack entered the cafe, a warm place with dim lighting and walls lined with old books. At the far end, a man was waiting for him, dressed in a dark coat. When their eyes met, Jack felt a strange familiarity, as if something within him immediately recognized this presence. "You must be Jack," said the man in a deep but calm voice. "I can't tell you much here. But your father, Samuel Carter, he's alive, and he's waiting for you. But you must understand one thing, what you're looking for is not without danger." Jack felt his heart beat faster than ever. The man's words echoed the sentences in the notebook. Everything he thought he knew about his life had just been turned upside down. His father was alive, and now Jack was about to discover a world he never could have imagined. The man handed him a metal key engraved with the same symbol that Jack had seen in the photos and in the notebook. "This is for you. Keep it safe. It will open the doors you must go through to find your father." Jack took the key, the weight of responsibility and the unknown bearing down on his shoulders. This journey was only just beginning, and he knew there was no turning back. The next morning, Jack couldn't stop thinking about the key and the mysterious man from the cafe. Every detail of the previous day seemed unreal, like something out of a dream. Yet the key in his pocket was very real, cold and heavy, a tangible reminder of the truth that awaited him. Determined to find out more, Jack returned to the address mentioned in the notebook. The building seemed unremarkable at first glance, but by inserting the key into a small lock hidden behind a metal plate, a secret door opened. Behind it was a spiral staircase leading to a hidden office. Inside, piles of documents, old photos, and personal journals revealed a past Jack could never have imagined. His father, Samuel Carter, wasn't just a missing businessman, he had been involved in secret dealings, protecting powerful secrets that could change the lives of many people. A letter on the desk caught Jack's attention. It was written in his father's handwriting. "If you are reading this, my son, know that I had to disappear to protect you. There are forces that want to control our family, and you must be careful. If you want to find me, follow the clues and trust no one except those who will bear the symbol of the key." Jack felt a chilling fear wash over him. Who were these forces? Why did they want to control or harm him? And why had his father been forced to disappear? As he examined an old photograph of his father with a group of unknown men, an envelope tucked under the desk caught his eye. Inside was a small notebook listing secret meeting places and locations where his father had left clues. The last location listed was an old, abandoned villa outside the city. Jack knew then that the real journey was only just beginning. The truth about his father, his family, and the dangers surrounding them would soon be revealed. And there was no turning back. Jack's heart was pounding as he approached the old villa described in the notebook. The crumbling walls, broken windows, and overgrown weeds gave the place a sinister appearance. Yet, he knew that behind this facade lay the answers he had always longed for. He cautiously entered through a half-open door. The air was heavy and dusty, thick with the smell of moldy wood and forgotten secrets. Each step creaked the floorboards, and Jack felt watched, as if someone or something was following his every move. Exploring the villa, he discovered a series of rooms filled with old furniture covered in sheets and cobwebs. But it wasn't the mess that caught his eye, it was a reinforced door at the end of the corridor, locked and bearing the symbol of the key Jack had received at the cafe. Trembling, he inserted the key into the lock. With a sharp click, the door opened, revealing a secret room filled with files, photos, and annotated maps. Each document told a part of his father's past, his role in powerful affairs, the enemies he had made, and above all, the measures he had taken to protect Jack and his mother. Suddenly, a noise behind him made him jump. A masked figure emerged from the shadows. Jack stepped back, his breath coming in short gasps. "You shouldn't have come here," the icy voice murmured. Before Jack could react, the stranger made a swift movement, and a metallic object grazed his shoulder. Fear gripped Jack, but he knew he couldn't run now. It was only a warning, but a warning that showed him the forces at play were real and dangerous. In a desperate move, Jack rushed towards the documents and grabbed a notebook his father had carefully left behind. His heart pounded. This notebook contained crucial clues, and possessing this information could mean the difference between his life and danger. Jack left the villa at full speed, feeling that each step brought him closer to the truth, but also to a danger he wasn't yet ready to face. He knew one thing for certain: finding his father would be far more complicated than he had imagined, and every choice he made from now on would be crucial. The next morning, Jack felt the weight of the abandoned villa and the intruder he had encountered the day before pressing down on his shoulders. He knew his next steps could no longer be improvised. He needed help, but who could he trust in a world where every face could hide an enemy? As he walked through the streets of Hartford, his gaze fell upon a quiet little cafe he had never noticed before. Something about the atmosphere drew him in. He went inside and noticed a young man sitting alone at a table, looking up at him intently. The key symbol, engraved on a bracelet he wore, was visible on his wrist. Jack approached cautiously. "I know why you're here," said the young man in a calm voice. "My name is Ethan. Your father and we work together. If you want to find him, you're going to need me." Jack felt a mixture of mistrust and hope. The clues were falling into place. If Ethan truly knew his father, he could be a crucial key to understanding the truth and avoiding danger. Ethan invited him to sit down and showed him a map with strategic locations, contacts, and areas to avoid. "Your father left clues everywhere," Ethan explained. "But some people are willing to do anything to prevent them from falling into the wrong hands." Jack realized that every decision would be crucial. With Ethan by his side, he could move faster, but the threat was closer than he had imagined. Together, they planned their next step: to travel to an old factory on the outskirts of town, a place where his father had left an important message. As they left the cafe, Jack felt a glimmer of hope for the first time in a long time. He was no longer alone. But he knew that every step toward the truth also brought danger closer, and that the forces that had forced his father to disappear were still lurking. Jack and Ethan walked in silence towards the old factory on the outskirts of Hartford. The imposing building, abandoned for years, seemed almost to swallow the twilight. Broken windows let in rays of sunlight that slid across the cracked concrete, creating an atmosphere that was both unsettling and mysterious. "This is where your father left the first important clue," Ethan murmured, while checking that no suspicious cars were following them. But stay on your guard. Some people know we're coming. Jack felt his heart race. Everything he had learned so far had prepared him for this moment, but he knew that nothing could truly prepare him for what he was about to discover. Inside, dust and silence reigned. Every footstep echoed in the vast, empty hall. Ethan pointed to an old, overturned desk covered in cobwebs. Jack approached and saw a small metal box hidden beneath the debris. Engraved on the top was the symbol of a key, exactly like the one his father had left him. Jack inserted his key. The safe opened with a sharp click. Inside was a thick file and a small electronic device, an audio recorder. Jack pressed the play button. His father's voice, clear and firm despite the years, echoed through the empty factory. "If you're listening to this, Jack, know that you're on the right track. Every clue you find will bring you closer to me, but be careful, some secrets are dangerous. Trust no one but Ethan. You'll have to be brave and quick." Suddenly, a metallic clang rang out behind them. Figures emerged from the shadows. Men in suits, clearly sent to retrieve the file, rushed towards them. Jack felt his adrenaline surge. He grabbed the file and ran with Ethan, dodging blows and obstacles. The chase through the factory was swift and dangerous. Jack and Ethan eventually escaped through a back door, breathless but unharmed. The assailants had vanished into the darkness, but the message was clear: Jack's quest would not be easy, and every clue found would bring new dangers. "This is only the beginning," Ethan murmured, catching his breath. "And now we know that those who want to control your father are ready to do anything to stop you." Jack clutched the file to his chest. For the first time, he understood that finding his father wouldn't just be a matter of discovery, but also of survival. And he knew he had to be prepared for anything. After their escape from the factory, Jack and Ethan took refuge in a small apartment Ethan knew, away from prying eyes. Jack opened the file his father had left him. Inside, photos, letters, and documents seemed to trace part of Samuel Carter's hidden life, but one sheet in particular caught Jack's attention. It was a detailed plan of an old manor house outside the city, with annotations and a key symbol marked in several places. On the back, a handwritten note read, "Our family's true legacy lies here. The answers you seek, Jack, are closer than you think. But some secrets are meant to remain hidden, until the time is right." Jack felt his stomach clench. The idea that his father had left a secret legacy was both exciting and terrifying. Ethan, watching his face, placed a hand on his shoulder. "We have to go tonight," he said. "If your father left clues there, we have no time to lose. But prepare yourself, Jack, what you discover could change everything you thought you knew about him." The manor stood atop a hill, surrounded by gnarled old trees and mist. Each step toward the entrance was accompanied by a mixture of fear and anticipation. The large, solid wood door was locked, but Jack took out the key his father had given him. With a resounding click, the door opened, revealing an impressive hall, dusty but majestic. Inside, a secret room behind a bookcase opened automatically when they placed the key on a small pedestal. There, Jack discovered something that left him speechless: a series of letters and diaries recounting not only his father's life, but also the role he had played in protecting Jack and his mother from a dangerous network of enemies. Among the documents, Jack found a letter addressed directly to him. "My son, if you are reading this, it means you are ready. The truth you seek is darker and more complex than you imagine. But know one thing: I have always loved you, and everything I have done to protect you. Follow the clues, and one day, we will be together again." His father's words resonated deeply within him. Jack understood that each clue found, each danger faced, brought him not only closer to the truth about his father, but also to his own identity. But he knew he was far from out of the woods. Those who had hunted Samuel Carter would never give up easily. "We must continue, yours, Ethan. This is just the beginning, Jack. And what we discover next could change the whole game." Jack clutched the file to his chest. Fear was there, but it was now accompanied by a fierce determination. He was going to find his father, no matter the cost. After their discovery at the mansion, Jack and Ethan immediately began analyzing the journals and letters left behind by Samuel Carter. Among the cryptic notes, one name kept recurring: Victor Langley. Jack had never heard that name before, but Ethan frowned when he saw it. Victor Langley, he's a dangerous person, Ethan murmurs. Your father confronted him years ago. He orchestrated Samuel's disappearance. And now he knows we're looking for your father. He'll do anything to stop us. Jack felt a chill run through him. The forces he was facing weren't just powerful, they were personal. Victor Langley wasn't just an enemy, he was a man who had turned his family's life into a nightmare. For several hours, they deciphered the clues in the mansion. A series of symbols and numbers led to an old library in the city, where Samuel had hidden documents essential to his safety and Jack's. But when they arrived at the library, they discovered something disturbing: the door had been forced open. Papers were scattered on the floor, and a message was written in red letters on the wall. If you want to see the Carter child alive, stop looking. Jack felt fear rising, but he knew he couldn't back down. Adrenaline and anger took over. These threats would only strengthen his resolve to find his father and uncover the truth. While searching the library, they found a secret compartment behind a shelf. Inside, another of Samuel Carter's notebooks detailed his strategies for protecting his family and revealed that Victor Langley was not just a professional enemy, he had a personal connection to the Carter family's past, a secret Jack would never have imagined. He knows everything about you, Jack, Ethan turned away. And he's waiting for the perfect moment to strike. But now we have the information we need to get ahead of him. Jack clutched the notebook tightly to his chest, resolute. The truth about his father was drawing near, but Victor Langley's shadow loomed over their every step. And in this dangerous game, every mistake could be fatal. Jack and Ethan had spent days following the clues left by Samuel Carter. Each step brought them closer to the truth, but also to the imminent danger posed by Victor Langley. The final clue led them to an abandoned factory, isolated on the outskirts of Hartford. It was there that Victor had last been seen, according to his father's notes. Upon entering the factory, Jack felt an almost palpable tension. Shadows danced on the walls, and every sound echoed like a warning. Suddenly, a massive figure emerged from the darkness: Victor Langley himself. So, Carter's son has finally arrived, said Victor in an icy voice, a cruel smile on his face. I was wondering how long it would take you to follow your father's clues. Jack clenched his fists, but he knew he had to stay calm. Ethan gave him a discreet signal: stay focused. Why did you make my father disappear? Asked Jack, his voice trembling but firm. Victor sneered. Your father, Samuel Carter, dared to defy my plans. He discovered secrets I didn't want revealed. So I had to neutralize him. But you, Jack, you're a problem I'll solve quickly. Before Victor could act, Ethan made a swift move, distracting the enemy just long enough for Jack to notice a small metal box next to Victor. It was the final piece of the puzzle left by his father. Trembling, Jack opened it and found a USB drive and a letter. My son, if you are reading this, know that Victor Langley is the one who tried to destroy us. The truth is darker than you can imagine, but you have the courage to face this danger. Everything I have done to protect you. Now it is up to you to finish what I started. Jack felt a mixture of fear and determination. For the first time, he understood that his father was not only alive, but that he had orchestrated every clue to prepare Jack for this precise moment, to confront Langley and regain control of their destiny. With Ethan by his side, Jack faced Victor, ready to fight for his family and for the truth. Every move, every decision, was crucial. And in that moment, Jack understood that his father's true strength lay not in his power or wealth, but in the courage he had instilled in his son. As Victor Langley's shadow drew closer, Jack knew one thing for certain: he was no longer the boy who believed his father was dead. He was the son of a living man, heir to a dangerous secret, and now ready to do anything to protect it.